अन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वरूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्व श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकं श्रीगुरु श्रीवैष्णवांश जीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् वितांश। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश श्री राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। कांचन गौरांगी नमोस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि। कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा पतितानां पावनेभ्यो जय श्री कृष्णा जय नित्यानंद भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। चैव नरोत्तमं शिवभद्रेषु निधिः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो पङ्कजनाभाय पंकजमालिने नमो पंकज नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे। Krishna, thank you to the management of ISKCON Mississauga for this opportunity to Bhagavad Gita chapter 2. From my heart, I want to acknowledge that what I am going to present is not my thoughts. These are and what I am doing, trying to purify myself, and if something worthwhile comes out of my mouth to our gurus and to our acharyas, and on the other side, somewhere if I say something inappropriate as kind Vaishnavas, you will forgive me for that. So with that, I just want as a communication lesson, I should start with a story. During thinking about how to make more money, so his children sent him to hoping that he will try to come out. The Maharaj comes and says, please take him back, because if he stays more, I am going to start thinking like him and start a startup or start some business. So they say, no, please take him, and we want you to keep him for some more time. So he takes him to Banaras, and we know that Banaras. The story basically, like the essence is that we are all in this same boat. At least I can say for myself that we have a dense forest of desires, and if you think about our own personal lives, what we are seeing is there is desire comes after desire and after desire, and then some of the both the happiness and the gratitude goes away. To a very great extent, you start to even forget about what happened and really that was a big thing or not. on the other side, many desires are. This is what's the background of all of us, right? And to a very large extent, like it is my story, and what I have seen is, with little, it is difficult to be happy. But then with a lot, it is impossible, right? And that's why our desires have to be curtailed at some point of time. And this whole section, what we are talking about, is about how to purify our desires. And that's what Lord Krishna will speak about in today's lecture. In reality, there's a shlok in Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 5th chapter, verse 30. Shri Prahlad Uvacha Matirna Krishne Parata Svatova Mitho Abhipatyeta Griha Vratana Adanta Gobir Vishatam Tamishram Punah Punah Charvita Charvananam. So what this says is, in the past we have been having these desires, that those are getting fulfilled, we are getting some kind of pleasure out of it. But then what's really happening is we are chewing what has been chewed again and again and again over multiple lives of times, multiple lifetimes. And this is all of us. And as we know that this world has been defined as dukkha. Whatever we desire, at the end you will feel that you have not really achieved anything. In fact, sometimes a desire can cause you harm at the end. And ashashvatam is something which is temporary. So things come in, things go, it's all transient, it's not permanent. So with that, what Srila Prabhupada and what our acharyas have been giving their detailed self-realization is that and we were very happily serving Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. But at some point of time, because of our association with matter, we have come to a situation that we have become conditioned. And why we are conditioned is because matter kind of overpowers the spiritual energy. We are actually spiritual energy, but it has been covered by material energy. And because of that covering, we start thinking that we are these bodies, and then we start identifying ourselves with this body. So whatever happens to the body, we start thinking that it is happening to me. So with that, this consciousness has to go away at some point of time. And that is what Srila Prabhupada and what our acharyas have been saying. What has been recommended in all the shastras, of all the Vedic literature, is that get us away from deception and our original identity, which is basically. So just to say, Ram Naam. There's a house, at the entrance of the house, if you put a light, the light will fall outside and inside. It gives light on the both sides. Same way, my body is the house and my jivha, my tongue, is the entrance of that house. So if I keep Ram Naam on my tongue, it will not only enlighten outside as well as it will enlighten myself from inside. So this has been the great revelations from Krishna Namadi. Swayameva Spurati Adha. So we realize our original consciousness. So with that, so that's just the back. So if anyone remembers, like so far, chapter 1, Arjun basically gave 5 reasons why he doesn't want to fight. One was compassion for body. Second, he feels that there is no enjoyment. Third, he thinks there is, it will cause him sinful reaction. 4, it will cause destruction of family traditions. And then 5th, he is really not sure why he is even going to fight. So he is unsure of the object. And then Lord Krishna, from 211 to 246, he is kind of giving one after other strong reasons why Arjun should fight. So this is the background. And then within chapter 2, I just wanted to highlight quickly, there are a few turning points. So 2.7 is where there's a big turning point where Krishna becomes is the guru and Arjun becomes the disciple. So the shloka is Karpanya dosho apahita svabhava prichhami tvam dharma sammudha cheta yashreyasya nishchitan bruhitan me shishyasteham sa. So once you come out, that do not think that you're going to kill someone, that do not think that you're going to kill someone. 14 again is one of the 14 again is one of the I think one of the very important shlokas where it says Matra Sparshastu Kaunteya Shitoshna Sukha Dikshasva Bharata. So with this concept, you're going to have those in your life. Right? Any and you can overcome. So that's first, and you have to tolerate. Why? And you can overcome. So that's first, and you have to tolerate. Why? Yesterday it was a good temperature. Today there is heat, there is cold. You will not get the respect. Sometimes and the last is Sarva Dharman Parityaj. Come back to me. Aham Tom Sarva. So do not worry. Do not worry. God says do not tolerate and don't worry. So in fact, he really wants an entry. With that, I'll just go into the. Somebody wants to volunteer, or I can read. In terms of one whose consciousness is, what do you mean by a person whose consciousness is merged in transcendence? The question is because just disturbed by the flowery life. Arjun is kind of asking it in continuation of that. So we know that transcendence is nothing but samadhi. So as per Ashtanga Yoga, there are 8 limbs of yoga: Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dhyan, Dharana and Samadhi. So first 4 are the external limbs and other 4 are the internal limbs of yoga. So and the last part of yoga is where you reach samadhi. But why do you have to go through this difficult process of samadhi where it is as simple as being always in Krishna consciousness, and that is samadhi. So Lord Krishna is kind of giving him both this side, that okay, once this is the difficult path, this is the easy path. That okay, I am just here as a servant of taken care by the master, because you are no more at the master level. From the result, the efforts to be given, all that is taken care by Krishna. So that's what is. As we know, Jiver Swarup Hoy Nitya Krishna Das. So consciousness or our original constitution, Gopi Bhardu.
श्री भगवान सर्व कामान सर्व देवात्मना तुष्ट स्थिता प्रज्ञा.
Hare Krishna. So the Supreme Person, black, I am Indian, all those are eternal service. And then art, can you control desire? think artificially desires are stop. So what is being said, extraneous efforts. So you might say, yeah, you know, kind to me, and he shut it down, and he has given me just like a flavor of it. He's not even shown me the entire picture. He's just shown me a trailer of it. So it could be like, you know, that's how devotee's attitude is always. And once you realize that we have this attitude of service, and we all know from our own personal experience that some people are, you know, material world, we are thinking of, I'm going to serve my community, I'm going to serve my nation, I'm serving my employer, I'm serving my family. So the attitude of service is always there. And if someone has no family, nothing there, they'll just probably have a pet, and then they'll start serving the pet, which is what Srila Prabhupada always says, that this is the service attitude. So we can't deny it. In the spiritual realm, we used to serve Krishna. So that was our original constitutional position. But because we are here, we are in a perverted location, our approach also has become perverted. And I think this is, I just wanted to bring to everybody's attention here is, as we say about servants, so I just wanted to say that right from the entire Vedic scriptures, every 9 bhakti processes, starting with Shravanam, is represented by Parikshit Maharaj, because at the time of death, 7 days before his death, he was day in and day out, he was just hearing. So that is Parikshit, represented by Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami, his elevated status, and see what Hanumanji has done, and we can follow similar approach. And then finally, Atmanivedam, we all know is Bali Maharaj, when Lord Vishnu kept his foot on his head as this last step. So that's basically verse number 2.55. 2.56, does anyone want to read? Oh, I can read. Dukheshva anudvignamana sukheshu vigata spriha vitaraga bhaya krodha stita dhirmuniruchyate. One who is not disturbed in mind even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear and anger, is called a sage of steady mind. So here the characteristics of a Dhir Muni are being described. Always in Krishna consciousness, and is never material miseries. So we know material miseries. In those difficult situations, what is his attitude as a tangent, that I'm really a reversal in his life, lost something, and then, you know, it's a small extent. So that's exuberation. Also, you really think that, okay, I did my work, but I really don't situation in my life. So जो भाग्य में है वो भाग करके, what is in your destiny will come to you. It will run away. So steady, and when you are equipoised, is all about. We have read through Srila Prabhupada Leelamrit. On the hot summer days in Delhi, Srila Prabhupada used to walk and distribute his magazine, and probably like 50 or something like that. Why he was doing this? And every time, every reversal in his life, he basically came back strong attitude that I'm going to serve my spiritual master's desire. Whatever happens, it is Krishna's mercy if something happens to me which is, you know, not in my line of plan. Still, I'm going to continue with my plan. So that is a great example from Srila Prabhupada which we should all follow. And he was always laser focused in his determination to fulfill his spiritual master's desire. And then one example is given, and we all read, is somebody asked Srila Prabhupada that, oh, so you are going to US. So Srila Prabhupada said, within not even a second, he said, Srimad Bhagavatam is going to the US and I am going there as a servant of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this attitude and this is so difficult because we are all in a different frame of mind, and somebody asked that question, to give that kind of an answer is such a indication of a great exalted person. And then for us, I think in general, what we need to do is, as Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, that Grihe Thako, Bone Thako, Sada Hari Boli Thako. So whether it is a jungle, you need to always chant Hari's name. Same thing, Gauranga Bolite Have. So he is always saying that when will that situation come where my body will quiver while taking Gauranga's name, right? So that level of commitment, that equipoiseness is there, and these are all examples of sthira. The God says is, as we see this in Ramayana, there is a shloka called Sakradeva Prapanno Yas Tava Asmin Niti Yachate Abhayam Sarvada Tasmai Dadami Etat Vratam Mama. Says that when somebody comes to us and says that, Lord, I am yours from today, and he asks me and he requests me for protection, the same moment I give him protection, and that is my cause. It is for us just to come running and to embrace us. So this is the exalted position of all the Sthirdir Munis. 2.57 Yaha sarvatra anibhisnehas tat tat prapya subha shubham na abhinandati na dveshti tasya pragya pratishtita. In the material world, one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil he may obtain, neither praising nor despising it, is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. So, as we discussed, material world is full of duality, and duality is basically have good neighbors, bad neighbors. We don't need to be overjoyous. Is fixed in perfect knowledge. Also is a great example of Bhagavad Gita 6.47. Who is a perfect yogi? So yoginam api sarvesham madgatinam taratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo matah. So Lord Krishna says that one who is always surrendered to him in a devotional service is the greatest of the yogi. So yoginam api sarvesham. So out of all, he is the greatest yogi. Same way, 7.19, bahunam janmanam ante jnanvan man prapadyante vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. So such a person who is after many births, right? He is the one who surrenders unto me, and with a full commitment that it is only Vasudeva and he is my ultimate abode. The moment that person realizes that person is Mahatma and he is very rare, Sudurlabha. Bhagavad Gita now 2.58 Yada samharate chayam kurma angani vasarvasha indriyani indriyartebhyas tasya pragya pratishtita. Again, Lord Krishna is again mentioning the same thing, whose consciousness is established, right? And one who is able to withdraw his senses from sense objects, as the tortoise draws its limbs within the shell, is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. So what that means is he is giving an example through a tortoise that when a challenging situation comes, when a situation where you are probably too much elated or too much morose, those kind of situations are always there. And then as a tortoise basically takes its limbs inside, for us, what does this expansion of the senses mean? Is the example given on the Dwadashi day. He is about, and then he goes for, based on the advice of his advisor, if you are broken the, he's done this behind him. He's expecting that food to him first, and then once he creates like a demon from his hair, and is kind of devotee. You have to really go back to the. So what this shows is that but still he has that situation where he is not really able to control his senses and he becomes kind of agitated. So this is the difference that is being shown here. Important verse 2.15. Dante niraharasya dehina rasavarjam raso api asya param drishtva nivardate. Embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, the taste consciousness. So what this basically says is, done as an example given here is, you try to get happiness with that. So you go there for service, looking for service, but supported for opportunity to serve, not gratify your own senses. And again, because and why that happens? Because our constitutional position is that of a servant. And once we try to become the controllers, we can't really become controllers. And then at that stage, everything falls down. So that's why it's better or the best to realize that I'm really not in control of this situation. So who has created the situation is Krishna. Who will give me the right knowledge is Krishna. Who will give me the right endeavor is Krishna. And who is the result? Who is going to give the result is Krishna again. So who am I to think that I am just here as an instrument, which is what Arjun said. Nimitta matra bhavasam sarvalok. Lord Krishna unequivocally says that I am the enjoyer, I am the supreme proprietor, I am the controller of this universe, and I am at the same time, I am your best friend. I am your suhrid. And with that understanding, if somebody acts for Krishna, that will give him the real peace. So everybody in this world is thinking about how to get peace, right? So this is the peace formula which Lord Krishna has given in Bhagavad Gita. And again, how do you purify the senses? So from a practice, the lower desires will go when you look for higher desires. Higher desire is service. Arjun had the desire, but how he was able to get rid of Kalau is a chanting of the holy name, Mukta Sangha Param. So taking the holy name. Again, Srimad Bhagavatam, Kriteya Dhyayate Vishnu, Tretayam Yajato Makhai, Dwapare, just merely by get in the age of Kali through fire sacrifices, chanting of the holy name. And in Dwapar Yuga, elaborate temple service, temple worship was recommended. But in the age of Kali, the only recommendation is take to the chanting of holy name. 2.60 Yatato hi api kaunteya purushasya vipaschitah indriyani pramathini haranti prasabham mana. The senses are so strong and impetuous, O Arjun, that they forcibly carry away the mind even of a man of discrimination who is endeavoring to control the mind. So when you are not able to control the mind, what happens is you are basically entangled and get in the material conception. And what that does is, we are like a pyramid. Human life is at the top of the pyramid. The moment you do not utilize this life for elevating to a higher level, you definitely have to fall down and go down the 8.4 million life forms, which are 8.4 million species of life. So, and then again you have to go through the evolutionary cycle. So that's what is being recommended, that you have to control your mind. And example here is given of Haridas Thakur. So Haridas Thakur was challenged by a young damsel who wanted to enjoy with him. And then Haridas Thakur said, no worries, I am going to do my chanting, you sit and we will, I'll fulfill your wishes. So day one, same thing happened. She was just watching him chant and he was continuously chanting. Day two, he was continuously chanting and she was sitting. Third day, same thing happened, and at the end of the day, she basically became fully Krishna conscious and got liberated. So this is what happens when Maya Devi is also she kind of has this conception of yoga is Krishna consciousness, right? And senses can be completely controlled only by the strength of devotional service to Krishna. Bhagavad Gita 2.62 Dhyayato Vishaya Pumsam Sangasteshopajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kamat Krodho Abhijayate. So while contemplating, so now this is a journey of how one falls down. So it starts with, when contemplating on the objects of senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment lust develops, and from lust anger arises. So 262 and 263 are basically shows that how your senses cause you to fall down, right? So from attachment comes lust, and from lust anger comes. So again, as we said, we cannot remain desireless. So what needs to be done is to purify our desires, and for purification we need to think that we are in a eternal servitor position. And Arjun also took the same position word, that basically is akarma. Bhavati sammoha sammohat smriti vibhrama smriti bhranshat buddhi nashat pranashyati. So continuation of 262, once you have anger results in this delusion results in bewilderment of memory, and we all know when you get angry, you don't really remember what you are angry about, or you say something which you should not have said. So when you are angry, definitely there's a loss of memory, and once loss of memory happens, intelligence is lost. And once intelligence is lost, a person falls down into material pool. So this is basically the journey which has been given. And for us, Srila Prabhupada has laid down a very simple path, which is always chant and be happy. And for us, prasadam is our diet and chanting is our medicine. So if you have to take away one thing from this lecture, is prasadam is our diet and chanting is our medicine. And then the last shloka of today is basically Ragadvesha Vimuktaistu Vishayan Indriyaischaran Atmavashyet Vidhe Atma Prasadam Adhigacchati. So, a person who is free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. So, artificially you can't control your desires, but through a transcendental process, you can control your desires. and your senses. Right? And how do you do that? Satisfy Krishna's desires. That's all. And which basically results in Lord's mercy for you. And we know this concept that always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So, if anything you can take away is this is the part. And one last concluding shloka I want you all to recite with me. It is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 14.1. Kathanchana smrite yasmin dushkaram sukaram bhavet vismrite viparitam syat Shri Chaitanyam namamitam. Things that are very difficult to do become easy to execute if one somehow or other simply remembers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But if one does not remember him, even easy things become very difficult. To this Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer my respectful obeisances. So, finally, our real cause of misery or fear in this world is our forgetfulness of our relationship with Lord Krishna. We have all forgotten what is our original relationship. The moment you reinstate that relationship, your consciousness is set perfect and you start believing in Krishna's plan. So, Krishna's plan is the best plan. And then the only way in this age of Kali is loudly chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Prabhu. Can we have one more round of applause? We are unfortunately running a little bit low on time. So, if any of you have any questions from Prabhu's lecture, please be sure to trouble him during Prashadam. For now, we will switch on the lights and have a little bit of closing kirtan, after which we will have Prashadam and a cake cutting, because we had a very special birthday, 1000th birthday, and then we're going to cut a cake and we're going to enjoy some cake. There you go.
Thank you. Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Ramaya Krishna
Krishna to you.
Hold, you take.